My dear daughter, if these words reach you, they do not travel by wire or telephone, nor by a voice that mortal ears can hear. They journey by older paths, paths woven from memory, from stories told around kitchen tables, from hands that once held other hands. You have called to us, and so I step forward, not as a single woman alone. I come as a voice from among the women who walked before you, who carried many burdens and yet endured. Some of us remain as living memories. Others have become little more than faded photographs in an old family album. The first card is judgment. Many people fear this card. Yet from where we stand, it means something quite different. It is the awakening of remembrance. It is the moment when something long silent wishes at last to be heard. In your family, there are stories that were carried alone for far too long. Sorrows that remained hidden. Tears shed behind closed doors. Women were called strong when they suffered in silence and still managed to smile. Yet strength was often just another name for loneliness. I do not step forward to speak of blame. I come to bear witness. Yes, there was suffering. There was darkness. Some among us were pursued by a sorrow heavier than words. And yet, that is not all we were. The second card is the Ten of Swords. Many women in our line lived in times when there were few names for wounds of the soul. People spoke of nervous exhaustion, melancholy, or weakness. Rarely they did speak of despair. And yet, despair was there. Sometimes it hung over a house like fog. Sometimes it passed from one generation to another, like an unspoken inheritance. The Ten of Swords is not only a card of pain. It also shows the sun upon the horizon. It reminds us that even the darkest night is not the final image of the story. And so I ask this of you. Never mistake our wounds for your destiny. You may feel compassion for us without having to repeat our path. You may remember without carrying. You may love without rescuing. The third card, the Seven of Cups, reveals the wound that longs to be acknowledged. Our wound was not grief alone. It was confusion. It was the inability to know which voice was true. The voice of fear spoke loudly. The voice of shame spoke loudly. The voice of hope was often barely heard. Many of us learned to distrust our own feelings. We believed the darker possibilities more than the brighter ones. This card reminds us that not every thought is a prophecy. Not every fear is a warning. And not every cloud foretells a storm. Perhaps this is also a message for you. You know the language of worry. You know the vigilance of a heart that has learned to prepare for danger. Yet I hope you will ask yourself again and again, whose voice is speaking now? The voice of love or the voice of fear? The fourth card is the Hanged Man. This is the gift I place into your hands. Many would prefer another card. The sun, the world, the star. But no. The Hanged Man is the wisdom of surrender and stillness. He knows that not every battle must be fought. He knows that some answers arrive only when we stop trying to force them. In our family line, there were women who never truly rested. They worried, watched, and cared for everyone around them. You know this energy. Perhaps you have inherited it yourself. The hangman places a hand upon your shoulder and says, "You do not have to solve everything. You do not have to carry every burden. You do not have to control every future." Sometimes surrender requires more courage than struggle. The fifth card is the King of Cups. This is the thread that binds us. Not depression, not grief, not loss, but compassion, the ability to feel deeply and still remain kind. You carry a heart that listens carefully to the stories of others. You hear what is spoken between the words. You sense the hidden currents beneath the surface. That is a gift, yet every gift requires boundaries. The king sits upon his throne in the midst of the sea, and still he does not drown. Learn from him. Walk beside others, but do not carry them. Love deeply, but do not lose yourself. And now I come to the final card, the Six of Pentacles. This is my closing wish for you. May balance return to your life. Not everything must be given away. Not everything must be earned. Some things may simply be received. When help comes, when love comes, when joy comes, open your hands. Too many women before you believed they must first accomplish enough, sacrifice enough, endure enough. I wish something different for you. I wish for a life in which giving and receiving hold equal place. A life in which the scales do not remain forever tilted to one side. A life in which you know that you belong to a long line of women, yet are not required to carry every burden they left behind. If you wish to remember us, do not light a candle of sorrow. Light a candle of remembrance and say, "I see you, I thank you, and now I walk my own path." That is enough. It has always been enough. With love across time and memory, a mother from your line.